kind of really washed out against this background, don't I? We'll just have to live with it. Anyhow, this is kind of a different sort of video. Let me give you the backstory on it. When I turned 55, I was kind of depressed about it. Don't know why. But I came up with a list of 55 things to do when I turned 55. And none of it was like bungee jump or parachute or fly a plane or any of those things. They were just small things that I had thought about doing but have not done or wanted to do again, or goals I wanted to set for myself that would kind of keep me busy turning 55. And that way I wouldn't think so much about being 55. And it wasn't that big of a deal, actually. And it was really fun to do a lot of these things, the 55 and 55. The kids played along. I did stuff like ate 55 flavors of Ben & Jerry ice cream, and Ben & Jerry's actually sent me a t-shirt and coupons for Ben & Jerry's, and for my birthday party, the boys had Ben & Jerry's ice cream, and they just did, it gave me herbal teas because that year I wanted to try 52 different herbal teas. So it's really kind of a family-like sort of thing. Still got some congestion going on. So anyhow, when I turned 60, I kind of wanted to do the same thing. But 60 was really and so when I turned 59, my friend Bonnie and I set up a list of 60 things to do in 60 because she was kind of my partner in crime with a lot of the stuff I did 55 and 55, like geocaching and canoeing and things like that. So she and I came up with a list of 60 and 60. Well, Bonnie passed away right after my 60th birthday. It was kind of a sudden thing. She had been diagnosed with one thing, and she actually had adrenal carcinoma. And so I would go with her to a doctor's appointment, and once she was finally diagnosed, it was fairly quick after that. But anyhow, I did not have the motivation whatsoever to do my 60 and 60 list because it was things that she and I had thought up together. Well, then when I turned 61, I was going to do a 61 and 61, and I half-heartedly did it, but there were so many things that Bonnie and I had on the list that I was kind of depressed about it, and there were things that I just didn't have another partner in crime to do it with. So anyhow, I decided though for 62, I'm going to do 62 and 62. I'm rolling over a lot of stuff that was from my 60 and 60. I still have about 5 or 6 empty spots. If you guys have any ideas, like I said, it's not to be big and huge. It's just to be small goals. And here, I'll give you some examples because I'm going to read what I have so far. So this is my 62 and 62 list. And I'm also going to try to keep you updated on how I do with that 62 and 62 this year. I don't turn 62 until May 2nd. But since this is 61 and 60 list, I'm going to roll over some of the things I've already done. Okay, so I want to make sourdough bread from scratch. I have tried 2 or 3 times, and my starter always fails. So that is on my list. I want to start CrossFit back up. I have to get with my personal trainer, which is my son, who has a CrossFit gym, to start emailing me the things again to work on my body strength. I think core body strength is really important for older people, of which category I will now fall. I want to read 52 books. That should be no problem. I love to read. I'm so glad I got back into reading because there was a span of time when I was homeschooling the boys that I would only read their kind of stuff, and so I'm really happy to be doing that again. Camping, 3 or 4 years ago, we bought a brand new 2-bedroom tent, and we've never used it. So it would be fun to do that again. We want to take the dogs camping with us at the lake. Ohio trip, I need to go visit my aunt and pick up an antique bed that she has waiting for me up there. I can't wait to get it. A West Virginia trip, my grandmother will be 101 in June, so I need to get back up there. Pennsylvania trip to see my best friend Kathy. I want to go to Montreat, which is in the western part of the state. It's where the Billy Graham Library is. It's something I've wanted to do for a long time. Bake a pie. This one will kind of be sad because I wanted my mother to teach me how to make a homemade crust because she made delicious pies. And I have her recipe, but she's no longer with us. She also died the year I turned 60. It was a bad year. Okay, bow and arrow. Vika and I, one of my daughter-in-laws and I, had talked about this for a long time, learning how to shoot a bow and arrow. I don't want to do the kind where you have to pull it back real hard and come up, what's that, a crossbow? Just your basic bow and arrow. I need to do gun practice. We do live out in the middle of nowhere, and I am terrified to shoot the pistol, even though I have my conceal and carry permit. I don't own a gun. I don't like the tinking sound, and I know I need to get used to it again. That's on the list. Dentist trip. I get regular cleanings, but I have some extensive work that needs to be done, so that's got to happen. Now, carve a spoon is something I've been wanting to do for a really, really long time, since probably my 35th birthday, and I've not done it, so I put it back on the list again. I want to go to Duke Chapel and see the organ tour that they do. We live about half hour, 45 minutes away from Duke. I need to start practicing my violin more. My husband bought me one for my 60th birthday, and I've not really done as much with it as I should. I want to take a class that shows wine and cheese pairing. I want to take a cooking class, just some random cooking class. I don't know. Maybe Italian, maybe Greek. I don't know. I need to learn a new crochet stitch. Bonnie and I were going to do knot tying. She is really good at all those outdoory things, and I know how to tie my shoes. So she was going to teach me about those. I want to take an herb class, and so I know not like more medicinal herbs. I've been studying some of it, but not a whole bunch. I want to celebrate Advent like I used to do when the boys were little. Even though it's just Chris and I love the practice of Advent. We have a solar oven that I haven't used in forever, so I want to do some solar cooking this summer. I want to run a 5K, but that's after I work on CrossFit for a bit. We live 15 minutes from a lake, a huge lake, Carr Lake, if you ever have to look on a map. And it really does the border of Virginia and North Carolina, and I love to sit by the lake and just relax. So I want to take some time to do that this coming up year. I need to, once again, practice knitting. I'm not very good with 2 needles. I only do 1 stick, not 2. Read through the Bible. I have been doing that chronologically, and I probably have maybe 5 more months to go until I finish a chronological reading of the Bible. Then I'll start with some other program again. We have a place near us called Cedar Creek. I want to go back again this year. I try to go once a year. In October, they do a pumpkin festival. I want to go to the beach. Have not been in a few years. I need to work on my address book because I have everybody's address torn off envelopes and just shoved into the address book. I want to learn how to start a friction fire. My husband's awesome at starting fires. Let's just put it that way. I need to learn. I want to visit 5 different Christian churches. The reason for that is I grew up in a denomination that really looked pretty much, I don't know how to describe it, but anyhow, I was not associated with a healthy feeling towards other Christian religions than I need to be, I think. Through grace, you're saved through faith, and I want to just learn more about other Christian churches. I did do a Philippine dinner last year. That was on the list. That was because one of my daughter-in-laws is from the Philippines, and she made us a nice Philippine lunch. But I also have a daughter-in-law from Russia, and we need to collaborate on a Russian meal to celebrate Vika. There is a winery in Clarksville not too far from us I want to check out. I used to teach basket weaving classes, and I haven't done that for quite some time, so I think I want to teach a couple more classes this year. Chris and I want to try glass blowing and blacksmithing. Those are two different things. We know where to go for them, we just have not made the time. I want to read Pilgrim's Progress through again, have not done that in years. I want to eat at the Jefferson Motel, maybe for my birthday. It's in Richmond. It has the long Gone with the Wind staircase. I want to build a birdhouse because I am just all thumbs when it comes to using wood and power tools and those kind of things, so I need my husband to talk me through that. I want to finish up the biographies of great hymn writers. I have 2 books. I'm only halfway through one of the books, but it's very interesting to learn where the great hymns come from. So, I don't know if you've ever heard of Mary Jane's Farm, but it's she has a group called the Sisterhood, and you can earn badges kind of like Girl Scouts, but only this is for adults doing really cool things that you challenge yourself to do. And so I really want to earn 12 badges, and I think one of the first ones I want to start with is making my own cleaning supplies. I know how. I've just been too lazy to do it, so I need to do that. I want to try 52 new recipes. I do love new recipes. I want to send out to at least one charity a month. I don't know what that's going to look like, because I will volunteer some time also, and some things, and maybe money. I don't know what that'll look like. One of the parks near here offers a bird nature walk, and I would love to be able to take that trip. I have binoculars and books with bird calls and sounds, and we do live out here in the middle of nowhere, and I would like to be able to identify birds a little bit better than I do. I want to read 12 of Elizabeth Elliot's books. She's very inspiring to me, and I think I'm entering this season where I need that kind of encouragement from an older woman, if that makes sense. I was able to hear her speak one year, and she just is very uplifting to me. Now, the other one's called leaf pottery, and my father-in-law probably is going to have to help me with this, but we have large burdock leaves in the backyard, and you make this solution of like concrete, and you make a bird bath using the leaf as your mold for this bird bath. So anyhow, I've got to read up some more on that, but I really do want to do one of those. I want to try to write one handwritten note per week. I used to write all the time. I used to have like 30 pen pals at one time, back before the internet. Back in the day, before the internet. And it was so fun writing back and forth and doing snail mail. I want to learn more about Movie Maker and vlogging because I know nothing. My husband does. I don't. I want to get back into taking my yoga class, which I loved yin yoga. It was really good for my core muscles, and I just got out of it. I want to make crackers. I think Janelle over Parsnips and Parsimony, and it could even be Charity, her daughter, has a really good recipe I want to try. Learn some new skill. Don't know what that skill is, but I will know it when I see it. We need to work on our Scotland scrapbook. That was the good thing, one of the good things that came out of me turning 60 was we went to Scotland, and that was really a wonderful trip, but we have all the pictures, and they're still on our phones, and needs something done with it. I want to do some sewing projects. I want to work on a quilt. I need to deal with some things with my mom's death, certificates, and getting things where they need to be, and I put that off because it's a bummer. Nothing that's crucial, just is a bummer. And then another thing that will go along with the CrossFit is that I'm going to try to eat more fruits, vegetables, and drink more water, but I won't start that until May, probably. Let's put it off as long as we can, but I'll have to get up with Christopher on that. So anyhow, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots. What should I do? If you have any really cool ideas, put them in the comments down below. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. Follow me on my journey of being 62. And I'll talk to you on the next video. Bye.